Hello everyone, this is a general reading. Let's get started. All right, what does everyone need to see right now? Okay. All right, interesting. Wow, okay. All of that and Two of Cups for the general. Let me see. Well, this is a very interesting time, even if it's an uncertain one for you, that's for sure. I feel a lot of excitement here. Whether if everybody listening is excited instead of anxious is another story, but there's a lot of energy in this, that's for sure. So, right now, you're kind of at an impasse. You're at the other side of the gate, and, well, you have pretty much every path you could think of in front of you right now, that's for sure. And it was a long, long path to get here. I feel a lot of thematic things every time I do a reading. I feel like I'm just continuing the same reading, uh, and it will be that for somebody. But I mean, picking up on it before, a lot of the stuff we've been going over has been somebody's been making a really big decision. They've been standing up for themselves. They were really worried as to how it was going to go. But right now, I feel like that decision has been made, and now there's all this open agency. It's almost overwhelming as to where to go because so much space has been cleared. And, you know, this was not a small feat either. I wouldn't look at it like, oh, what did I do this right? You came from a pretty powerful place to get here. Start from that and say that like you did everything right, you know? Now, if anything, that might just be kind of the whole point right now is you're just a little worried as to whether or not this all was in the right state of mind or if you were disciplined with it. I think you absolutely were. This is just the main thing to keep in mind is right now you might need to just kind of slow down and gestate what happened, that you made it here. And I would really give that to yourself because you got the star for your strength right now. You got the whole world on your side. You were supposed to do this. This is a really good thing that you're stepping into right now. And it's going to come from a very exciting, discovering kind of place, with the Knight of Pentacles. I think the whole point is you're tapping into this forward facing kind of go-getting abundance. You've cleared the space for that kind of momentum, which is why it might be a little overstimulating right now. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the main thing is you're worried if this was all like for the right reasons. It absolutely was. If anything, you had to be very brave to get to here. And that's what's kind of hard is you're like, well, I don't really have proof that I was brave other than I just lost a bunch of stuff or whatever. And now what do I do, And yeah, that's pretty evident by this. This isn't as bad as it seems. It's more like you went through a big kind of cleanse. You got rid of a lot of stuff. Hence where you are with the Seven of Cups. And it's for very good reasons. We're talking about the material here, not the emotional when we get into Pentacles, which, I mean, obviously everybody wants to have abundance and stability and whatnot, but this was like the pruning of some bad branches. That's my interpretation. And obviously, yeah, I think it is very much a material kind of set of concerns. You are worried, like, hey, this was good for my spirit. It was good for my wallet. Maybe you told off your boss or you got out of a bad relationship. It was kind of spiritual McDonald's for you. You're being fed not the right way. I want to say that's 100% the case if you're looking at this. And by all means, you got judgment for your final outcome. Absolutely. You got judgment for your final outcome. You got the star for your strength. You got the Knight of Pentacles for, and really getting down to the fact that this is a Two of Cups for the general. I definitely want to say this is about some other person you kind of stepped out of your life with, and you're like, whatever, I'm going this way. I think it's clear it was meant to happen this way. Like, I keep getting a lot of that when I go through these readings of like, well, there seems to be this anxiety of somebody told somebody off or whatever. Or they, short answer, I think somebody just kind of stepped into their power. And that was a bit of a messy process. It took them being very brave, but I think everyone looking down on you is very proud of you right now because you did it for all the right reasons. You're just not, you're not comfortable with that yet. It takes a lot to kind of step out of your shell and realize that, it's like, oh, I was allowed to say that. I was allowed to stand up for myself, that can definitely happen. Now I'm going to do just a really quick follow-up, kind of get a general on top of all of this detail instead of doing every single one, because I feel like that's where we are right now, This is pretty clear to me. Okay, almost. Just looking for 3 this time. Okay, yeah, we're getting a lot of things related to, so we got the 3 of Pentacles for your clarification for the 2 of Cups. That's absolutely, you're dealing with a third-party situation. Yeah, the 3 of Cups in reverse for your past, so this was obviously a very draining, not fun time. And the 9 of Pentacles for your current. So, like, yeah, you were worried about when we have that for the environment versus like the internal situation. I think that's the real proof of the pudding here. Is like, yeah, it looks like you gave up all this stuff. Internally, I take it as you being very wealthy. Now, there's a version of this where it's the 9 of Cups and it's like 100, but it's like, I look at it that way of like, you got to look at the perspective of what you've given up and where you're going. And for your final, you have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So, I mean, I kind of take that as like, well, this was a bit of a messy thing, and now there's kind of like a calming period where you're just going to have to kind of come back to reality and really test out this new setting you're in, this new you. Now, there's a version of it you could say where maybe things get a little bit stuck, and that could be the case. I mean, it's Wheel of Fortune reverse, so it's interesting to say what that could mean, especially this week. This is a conjoining of the nodes, at least right now. It's a timeless reading, of course, but like there's a lot of fateful things happening in the astrology world right now. So in reverse, given the context of all the other cards and the fact that you have like 3 very positive cards for your last outcome, and this being what it is for the final clarifier, I want to say this is kind of about getting off the merry-go-round with all the wild animals and coming back to a more mature, kind of chill place where, if anything, you might just be a little bored because it's not so exciting. If anything, that's what I'm getting at with this last, this temperament for what you got to focus on in reverse. Empress, actually, yeah, Empress specifically, sorry. Empress in reverse. So it's like a lot of personal boundaries and like self-internal stuff is being like misconsidered in regards to yourself and your needs, and if you're giving like 200% in this situation. So I think like realistically, this is a pretty good situation you find yourself in. Maybe the person who you told off is trying everything to convince you otherwise, but yeah, you're good. I would I don't know, with this kind of reading, I'd give yourself like a little treat. Honestly, give yourself a little celebration for what you've been through, even if you don't think you deserve it. I think that's kind of the point, is you do, and you need to step more into that kind of thinking of like, you do deserve it. You do deserve these things, these boundaries, this right to space, and to self-governance, to take care of yourself. I think that's what you're doing. So honestly, whoever's watching this, fantastic job, and I will see you the next time around.